Welcome back, everyone. The stage is now set for the November 16, 2024 governorship poll in Ondo State as the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says the collection of permanent voter cards ahead of the election will begin on Thursday. In a statement on Monday, Sam Olumekun, INEC National Commissioner and Chair of the Information and Voter Education Committees, said the PVCs have been printed for all registrants. He added that the PVCs have already been delivered to the Commission's state office in Akure for collection by eligible voters. In another development, the Ondo State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has alleged that the All Progressives Congress-led government has denied it the venue to kick off their campaign ahead of the governorship election. PDP alleged that earlier applied for the usage of the Democracy Park in Akure, the state capital, for its campaign slated for October 15, 2024. But was later denied by the state government. So tonight, let's speak with the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Ebenezer Adeniyo, on this and other matters. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Welcome to Politics Tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Right, so we have about 17 governorship candidates who are ready for the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State. So first, what is campaign looking like in Ondo State? How would you describe the kinds of campaign going on in the state? Would you say all candidates have adopted issue-based campaign as against propaganda? Let's start with that.
Thank you very much. The All Progressive Congress (APC) flagged off his campaign on Saturday, senatorial campaign at Ondo City. And earlier today, we were at Ikare Akoko in Akoko Northeast Local Government Area of Ondo State. For the Ondo North senatorial leg of the campaign flag off, and the senatorial district leg will hold next in Ondo South Senatorial District at Okitipupa on Wednesday. So far, so good. The APC has been running its campaign seamlessly without any incident. It's been peaceful. It's been overwhelming. The support has been overwhelming. The people of Ondo State across the two senatorial districts that we have visited so far have come out in their large number to welcome Mr. Governor to their areas, and the support has been very, very encouraging. I know other political parties are also going out to talk to the people, and I'm confident that with the way things are going, the coming election in Ondo State will be very, very peaceful.
Right. I wanted us to start off with that because the PDP had accused the APC of high-handedness and intimidation. PDP alleged that it had earlier applied for the usage of the park, that's the Democracy Park in Akure, the state capital, for its campaign slated for October 15, but was later denied by the state government. So talk to us about the true situation of things. Why should the APC deny the PDP of an open avenue like that?
Thank you very much. The Democracy Park is a venue that is open to all political parties, all political groups. The state government does not deny any organization, whether political or otherwise, the use of the Democracy Park. And it's surprising that the PDP, the opposition party in the state, will continue to play politics because that is the only relevance they have. Is to cry foul at every turn. The truth of the matter is that the PDP applied for the use of the Democracy Park on Friday, which was the last working day of last week, and given a date of Tuesday for the use of the Democracy Park. And that was on the 11th of October. Meanwhile, another political group had applied for the same venue on the 9th, which was 48 hours before their own application came. And this was communicated to the PDP instantly on Friday, that venue had been booked by another political group to be used on that same day, Tuesday, I believe, which is tomorrow. So I think the PDP waited for a few days after that had been communicated to them before coming out to play politics with it by saying that they were denied the use of the venue, which is not true. There are other open spaces within Akure, the state capital, where political campaigns, rallies can take place. And when Mr. Governor declared his intention to run for the governorship of the state, he didn't use the Democracy Park. He used the House of Assembly arcade. It's an open area too that can be used for campaign. We have the stadium, we have the new stadium, we have the old stadium. We have other open areas within Akure. We have the Akure City Hall. There are other open areas within Akure that the PDP can make use of. And some of those areas are within the management of the Ondo State Ministry of Transport. But the PDP decided to play politics with its application for the democracy path. They want to flag up their campaign. It's not as if that is going to be the only rally they will hold in the entirety of the campaign before the election. So if they had opted to change their date from Tuesday, which had been booked by another political group, their application would have been approved. But they insisted on that Tuesday, which had been booked by another group. Of course, you can't give approval to two different political organizations to hold rally at the same venue. So the option was given to them to pick another date other than that Tuesday, but they insisted on Tuesday. So they were not denied the use of the democracy party.
All right. So, I mean, first, you just said another party had paid for the park. So what political party is that?
Political group.
What political group is that?
Well, I wouldn't know that. I think the officials of the Ministry of Transport will know the name of the group that applied for it. Okay. Maybe we'll wait till tomorrow to see which political group will be making use of the venue.
All right, because what you're saying now is different from a statement that had been released by the state governments, because you said that a political group had paid for the park. But what the statement released earlier is that the use of public facilities like Democracy Park is guided by established rules and regulations. So it means that the PDP did not follow these established rules and regulation. Do you understand what I just said?
Okay, thank you very much. I have with me now, I can read, if you allow me, the statement from the special advisor to Mr. Governor on transport, because that is the government agency that is in charge of the management of the Democracy Park. And I can read a section of that statement for you, if you allow me.
Please go ahead.
Which says that, okay, I'm just trying not to go through everything.
All right.
Okay. This is the statement. The points were made there. The PDP submitted its application for the use of the Democracy Park only on Friday 11th October 2024, for their flag love campaign slated for Tuesday 15th October 2024, 3 days interval. Whereas interested groups had applied since October 9th, 2024, with 5 days interval. It is important to stress that the PDP's application was erroneously addressed to the permanent secretary of the ministry instead of the special advisor, who is not just the political head but also the approving authority. Needless emphasizing the administrative implication of wrong presentation being loss of speed and ease of attention. The permanent secretary did his job timeously and responsibly by, within hours of receipt, drawing the attention of the PDP to this and advising for representation for an expeditious attention. Upon treatment, the PDP application was refused for its 15th because the facility had been approved for another group which had applied since October the 2nd. The Democracy Park was approved for the use of the other client based on proper processing and recommendation by competent officers who followed established protocol. So you can take from this the background I laid already, that the application came on the 11th, which was last Friday, whereas another group had applied for the use of that same facility on the earlier than the PDP. And this was the PDP official that made the application was told instantly that this venue had been booked for that day. Can you pick another date? And the official promised to get back to the agency after consulting with the leadership of the party. The official of the PDP that made the application did not get back to the agency, but instead, 2 days later, we saw on the media PDP raising alarm that they were denied the use of the venue. And the statement they issued did not mention the fact that they were given the option to pick another date that would be convenient for the management of the facility. All
right, that's fair. Thank you for that clarification. The governor recently announced the approval of the minimum wage to workers. What necessitated that move? 73,000 naira. Because,
thank you very much.
All right.
Yes, thank you very much. When Mr. Governor came on board on December 27th, 2023, during his inaugural speech, he did mention that one of his major priorities would be the welfare of workers in Ondo State. And he started that within a week. In January this year, he settled the arrears of salary being owed by previous administration, particularly the PDP administration that ended in 2017, leaving behind 7 months unpaid salary arrears. The last month that was not paid, which was January of 2017, was paid by Governor Ayedatiwa in January of this year. And since then, Mr. Governor has been paying salary as at when due. And for the very first time in the history of Ondo State, salary is not being paid on or before the 25th of the month. This is the first time in the history of the state that salary will be paid, even when the state was in abundance of resources. Salary was not paid before the end of the month. But today, salary is paid on or before the 25th of every month. And also, Mr. Governor introduced wage award earlier in the year as part of the measures put in place by the state government to cushion the effects of the removal of fuel subsidy on the economy. That wage award was the second highest in the country, which was 35,000 naira for the civil servants. And that was supposed to last for 6 months, which the government paid for 6 months. And after that ended within the 6 months, Mr. Governor decided to introduce a reduced one, which was 15,000 naira afterwards. And the workers of tertiary institutions in the state who were not captured in the first batch of the payment of the wage award, Mr. Governor approved their own payment for another 6 months, which was 35,000 naira wage award, second anywhere in the country. So this should give you the impression that Mr. Governor takes the welfare of workers of Ondo State as a priority. So it's no surprise that when he flagged off his campaign on Saturday, the first promise he made there was for the workers of the state. Right. He has always said that...
Mr. Ebenezer, but how sincere is the governor with this latest development? Because the PDP has accused...
Announced on Saturday that even though the federal government approved 70,000 naira as the new minimum wage, the state government will be paying 73,000 naira, which is 3,000 naira more than the minimum wage approved by the federal government.
First, this is commendable, but how sincere is the governor about this? Because the PDP has accused your principal of being dishonest. The party is alleging that the governor was insincere over that particular amount. PDP described the 73,000 naira minimum wage to the state civil servants as a mere Greek gift to cajole the workers to vote for him in the forthcoming poll. And thankfully you're here so we can hold you by your words, because one fair point by the PDP is that it should have increased the workers' salaries before this present time. So how sincere is the governor about this? Mr. Ebenezer, can you hear me? All right. Let's take a break, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us. Tonight, our focus is on the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State. Annex preparation, PDP, APC bickering over campaign venue and other matters. And I've been speaking with Ebenezer Adeniyo, Chief Press Secretary to the Ondo State Governor. Mr. Ebenezer, thank you so much for staying with us on the program. And just like I said before we went on that break, 73,000 naira minimum wage is a highly commendable effort by the governor. But how sincere is the governor about this? Because the PDP has accused your principal of being dishonest. The party alleges that the governor was insincere over the amount, and the PDP has described that amount as a mere Greek gift to cajole the workers to vote for him in the forthcoming poll. And I said, thankfully, you're here so we can hold you by your words, because one fair point by the PDP is that it should have increased the workers' salaries before this present time. So first, why now? And how sincere is the governor about this?
Well, thank you very much. You recollect that the federal government set up a committee on the issue of minimum wage a long time ago, but the approval for the 70,000 naira minimum wage by Mr. President came just, I think, a few months ago. And after that announcement was made, the Governors Forum met with Mr. President and decided to set up a committee to review the minimum wage as it will be implemented by the states, by the 36 states of the Federation. Of course, Ondo State is one of those. And in Ondo State, Mr. Governor set up a committee to also draw a template and look at how we can implement the minimum wage in Ondo State under the chairmanship of the head of service. So Mr. Governor did not just wake up on Saturday to announce the payment of minimum wage. He's been saying this for the past 3 months since that minimum wage was announced by the federal government. During different meetings with the labor leaders in the state, Mr. Governor had continuously said that he's going to implement minimum wage in Ondo State. And that is one. Then two, if you look at it critically, the old minimum wage in the country is around 30,000 naira. And Mr. Governor has been paying wage award of 35,000 naira to the workers of Ondo State. If you add 30,000 naira to 35,000 naira, that's 65,000 naira. So how will a governor that is paying 65,000 naira as the minimum benchmark for workers will now play politics with the payment of 73,000 naira, which is 8,000 naira increment on the old minimum wage and the wage award that is being paying to workers in the state? But of course, the PDP struggling for hair, struggling for relevance because of election, will continue to make noise. Anything they can hold on to, they will continue to hold on to it. But I can assure you that the labor leaders in the state, the workers in the state who are beneficiaries of what Mr. Governor has been doing since he came into office, is paying pensions, is paying gratuity, is paying wage award. They do not have any fear on the implementation of this minimum wage. So I can assure you that what Mr. Governor said on Saturday on the 73,000 naira minimum wage will come to effect before the end of the year. So we have no fear that Mr. Governor is going to pay this. You can speak with workers in the state, especially the labor leaders. They will tell you that Mr. Governor had promised them long before now, about 3 months ago, in their meetings with him, that he's going to pay minimum wage. So it's not really anything new. The only thing new that he said on Saturday was that it was going to be 73,000 naira instead of the 70,000 naira that he had committed to paying before now.
All right. So another report coming from Ondo State is that the Ondo State House of Assembly refused to consider the supplementary budget presented to it by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. The House is refusing or accusing the governor of failure to provide details of the new budget. First, the Commissioner for Finance, Maumi Isaac, has failed to honor the invitation of the lawmakers to explain the details of the supplementary budget. And why would anyone say the governor appears helpless in this matter?
Thank you very much. That is not true. I'm not sure that anybody can hold on to or bring out any statement issued by the House of Assembly to say that they rejected the supplementary budget submitted by Mr. Governor. Those who put the story out are the agents of the opposition, agents of the PDP. There is nothing like that. I think some days ago, the leadership of the House of Assembly met with Mr. Governor to discuss the supplementary budget. Don't forget that when Mr. Governor came into office, the budget for this year had been drawn up almost by 85–90% by the time he became governor in December. But he did sign the budget on the on the last day of 2023. So largely, Mr. Governor has been trying as much as possible to make the budget work. But of course, as a new governor, there are certain projects, there are certain policies that must be implemented, and you can't do that without adjusting the current budget, and that is exactly what is happening now. The House of Assembly does not necessarily need the Commissioner for Finance to give explanation on the details when the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning is available. The budget did not come from the Commissioner for Finance. It came from the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Pastor Igbason. So all the issues, all the gray areas had been sorted out. Of course, the members of the House of Assembly are representative.
What were the gray areas? What were the gray areas?
Of course, when you submit a budget to the legislature, because they are representatives of the people, members of the House of Assembly also look out for the welfare of the people of their constituencies. So it is possible for instance, for an House of Assembly member from Akure South to look at the budget and feel like maybe there are no enough projects allocated to Akure South local government or Akure South constituency 1, and is asking questions and making recommendation on inclusion of other projects that will benefit the people of the constituency. So it is practically impossible for the executive to submit a budget proposal to the legislature, and there will not be questions asked. As a matter of fact, if the House of Assembly members don't ask any question about any budget proposal, then they are not doing their job. So it is their job, it is their responsibility to ask questions, because that is what the people of Ondo State elected them to do. So it's not a matter of any conflict. It is just a matter of the House of Assembly members asking clarification in certain areas, and those clarifications have been made by the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning.
So are you saying on live television now that the Commissioner for Finance is not involved in any alleged financial mismanagement?
I can assure you that that is not the case. I'm not sure you have any report or any document anywhere that accused the Commissioner for Finance, Mrs. Omowumi, of any impropriety, of any fraudulent practices anywhere. If the members of the House of Assembly are seeking clarification in certain areas, and those clarifications have been offered by the Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, that put to rest any issue that is there. But of course, because this is an election season, opposition will continue to use whatever they can lay their hands on to play politics.
All right. Quickly, the PDP candidate, Agbola Ajayi, has promised to ensure 35% of women are given appointments if elected in the November 16 governorship election. He has also pledged to empower women financially and adhere to the United Nations Affirmation on Gender Equality from February 24 when he assumes office. What is Governor Aiyedatiwa's plan for the women of Ondo State? But before you answer that question, Mr. Ebenezer, we have some breaking news from Abuja. What you're seeing now? All right. Live pictures of the Super Eagles team arriving in Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport and all the way from Kano State. Going by what has happened today, the Super Eagles team are now live in Abuja.
Hello, Saki. Okay. Online feedback. of them are traveling. You get it up for your phone.
How many?
You get it up for your phone. Sorry. You get it at 2 players. Let me check it. Which one is it? Which are they taking live? Is it the live view?
Yeah, live. CSO, we're coming for you.
You're supposed to say this game.
And what you're seeing are live pictures of the Super Eagles team live in Abuja at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport after a despicable hostage incident at Al Abrak Airport in Libya. Recall that coach and technical crew were left stranded without food, Wi-Fi, hotel accommodations, and other logistics for over 11 hours as they arrived at Libya Airport for the second leg of the qualification of CAF AFCON 2025. That incident occurred after the Nigerian aircraft, originally boarding to Benghazi, was diverted to another city just an hour before landing. And joyfully, happily, the Super Eagles team is back in Nigeria.
Benjamin. I just ask him before he goes.
Bola Tinubu, deeply moved by the inhuman treatment endured by the Super Eagles of Nigeria at a Libyan airport, warmly welcomes their safe return to Nigeria. The harrowing experience of the national football team at the hands of their hosts and the Libyan authorities prompted the Nigerian Football Federation to withdraw the Super Eagles from the scheduled match on Tuesday. President Tinubu expects the disciplinary board of the Confederation of African Football to conduct a thorough investigation and recommend appropriate action against those who willfully violated the organization's regulations. The president also commended the proactive coordination between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Federal Ministry of Sports Development in addressing the unfortunate episode and ensuring the safe return of our players.
Benjamin. Sorry.
Let's go.
Nice, huh?
Benjamin, sorry.
I know it's for that time. I know when it's
Sorry.
Welcome. Oh, those things. Live. I'm able to stay up. But I don't know if I'm still there. Okay.
I cook for you, yes? No, like we're inside the bus, so we're actually. They said. All right. Okay. Okay.
Benjamin. Ben, you take the flight.
See me. All right. Can you see me now? All right, well, of course, the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the whole Nigerian contingent that traveled to Libya for the reverse fixture of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations have landed at the Abuja International Airport, Abuja.
Where is the team going from here? Where is the team going from here, Jim Francis?
I need ear. Please ask ear, please.
All right, Jim Francis, if you can hear me, it's good to see that the team is back. But where is the team going from here? And is there any government dignitary on ground to receive the team? All right, we'll get back to our correspondent, Jane Francis. I mean, it's good to see that the Super Eagles team is back to Nigeria. Mr. Ebenezer, it was important for us to take that breaking news, which every Nigerian had been waiting for. Thank you so much for your patience. Now, let's move on with this conversation. So, like I said before we went for that breaking news, PDP candidate Agbola Ajayi has promised to ensure 35% of women are given appointments if elected in that governorship election in Ondo State. He has also pledged to empower women financially and adhere to the United Nations Affirmation on Gender Equality from February 24 when he assumes office. So what is Governor Aiyedatiwa's plan for the women of Ondo State if elected governor?
Thank you very much. We advise Honorable Agbola Ajayi, the PDP candidate in the coming election, to perhaps, before drawing up his manifesto, look at what is exactly what is happening in the state. If he's promising 35% affirmation and he does not understand the fact that Honorable Lucky Aiyedatiwa has already surpassed that 35%, it means he doesn't understand what governance is. I will tell you that when Mr. Governor came into office and he was going to constitute his cabinet, he appointed the first female commissioner for finance in the history of Ondo State. Of course, the person we were talking about the other time about the budget, Mrs. Omowumi IC. And in the cabinet, we have a lot of women in the cabinet. Mr. Governor has, aside the Commissioner for Women Affairs, he has special advisor on women affairs. He has special advisor on gender and other top aides of Mr. Governor who are women. And this is not just about number. We have quality addition too. If you look at the quality of the women in the cabinet, in the administration, you will see that these are the people that can add value to governance. It's not just about the number. It's also about quality. You look at the profile of the Commissioner for Finance, you know that she's highly qualified for the job. You look at that of the special advisor to the governor on women affairs, Dr. Sheung Osamaye, who is an expert in education and a former aide of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. You look at that of the special advisor to the governor on gender, Chief Mrs. Olamide Falana, who is a former governorship aspirant, one of the very few former governorship candidates in Ondo State. So it's not just about number. We're also talking about quality. But if Honorable Agbola Ajayi wants to talk about number, we are already ahead of him in that. So before he draws up his campaign manifesto, he should look at what the governor is already doing so that he can understand what governance is all about.
All right. Mr. Ebenezer, how prepared is the APC for this election? How determined is your party in retaining power? And how ready is Governor Aiyedatiwa in retaining this office? I'm asking that question because some of those disgruntled members are still saying This governor has never won an election. He contested for the House of Reps. He didn't win one local government. And right now, he's contesting against another grassroots politician, the PDP candidate, who understand grassroots politics. There is that challenge ahead of the governor, which he has to surmount. So what would you say is the selling point of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa?
Thank you very much. I'm not sure the governorship candidate of the PDP will be saying that. Maybe some members of the opposition, because he himself has never won any governorship election in the state. He was the candidate of the Zenith Labour Party in the last election and could not even win any part of the state as a governorship candidate. This is an individual who has been crisscrossing across all the major political parties in the state, just in his desperate ambition to become governor.
Mr. Ebenezer, let's stay on the issue at hand. So what would you say is the selling point?
Mr. Governor is prepared for this election. As a matter of fact, more than prepared. Of course, he doesn't underrate any opponent. That is why he has just flagged up his campaign ahead of that of any of the opposition parties in the state. The APC is strongly on ground. We have no fear about the coming election, even while we are not underrating anybody. But we know that we have the structure. We have what it takes to win the election. If you look at the composition of the structure of politics in Ondo State today, we have 3 senators in the National Assembly. All the 3 are members of the APC. We have 9 members of the House of Representatives in the National Assembly. 8 out of 9 are members of the APC.
Mr. Ebenezer, that's not my question. My question is, what is the selling point of the governor?
You are asking us about our preparation for the election, and I'm telling you that we are prepared for the election because we have all it takes. We have the structure on ground. If you are talking about selling point, I will start by telling you all the major achievements of Mr. Governor in office that are attracting him to the people of the state. I've mentioned to you his welfare policies for the workers of the state. We have the issue of employment. Mr. Governor today is on the verge of employing more than 3,000 workers in the state. He has employed already around 1,000 workers. We've had 250 in the Board of Internal Revenue. We have about 600 in the health test.
All right, Mr. Ebenezer. Sadly, we're out of time. But I'm sure we'll have another day to continue this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Ebenezer Adeniyi, Chief Press Secretary to the Ondo State Governor. Thank you so much for joining us on Politics Tonight.